Deep Work, Rules for Focused Success in a Distracted World. Do you ever feel busy but not productive? You spend your entire day replying to emails, checking Slack, attending Zoom meetings, only to finish work at 5 p.m. wondering what you actually accomplished? You're not alone. We're living in an age of distraction. We treat busyness as a proxy for productivity. But the ability to focus without distraction is becoming increasingly rare, and at the exact same time, it's becoming increasingly valuable. Welcome to the summary of Deep Work, Rules for Focused Success in a Distracted World by Newport. This book isn't about working harder. It's about working smarter by mastering the art of intense focus. It argues that deep work is the superpower of the 21st century. So what exactly is deep work? Newport defines it as professional activities performed in a state of distraction-free concentration that push your cognitive capabilities to their limit. This is a kind of work that creates new value, improves your skills, and is hard to replicate. Think of a writer drafting a book, a programmer solving a complex algorithm, or a strategist developing a new business model. The opposite is shallow work. These are non-cognitively demanding logistical-style tasks, often performed while distracted, answering emails, scheduling meetings, scrolling through social media. This work is easy to replicate and creates little new value. The problem? Most of us spend 90% of our days drowning in shallow work because it makes us feel productive. But Newport argues that the economy is shifting. To survive and thrive in the new economy, you need to master two things. 1. The ability to master hard things quickly. 2. The ability to produce at an elite level in terms of both quality and speed. You cannot do either of those with shallow work. You can only do them with deep work. Let's talk about the enemy of depth, attention residue. We often think we're good at multitasking. We think we can check an email, then write a line of code, then check a notification, and switch back seamlessly. Newport cites research from Sophie Leroy that proves this is impossible. When you switch from task A to task B, your attention doesn't immediately follow. A residue of your attention remains stuck thinking about the original task. Even a quick glance at your inbox creates this residue. If you constantly switch contexts, you end up working in a state of semi-distraction, effectively lowering your IQ. To produce elite work, you must work for long periods with zero context switching. So, how do we actually do this? The book outlines 4 different deep work philosophies to fit different lifestyles. First is the Monastic philosophy. This is the most extreme. You cut yourself off from the world completely. No email, no social media, total isolation. This works for science fiction writers or academics working on long-term research, but it's unrealistic for most of us. Second is the bimodal philosophy. This is where you split your time. Maybe you retreat to a cabin for 4 days to write, then return to the office for 3 days to handle the shallow work. You alternate between a monastic life and a normal life. Third is the Rhythmic philosophy. This is the most practical for the average worker. You simply create a rhythm. You schedule a 90-minute block of deep work every single morning at the same time. It becomes a habit, like brushing your teeth. You don't wait for inspiration. You just show up to the rhythm. Fourth is the journalistic philosophy. This is for the advanced. You seize any free moment, a 20-minute gap between meetings, and instantly switch into deep focus mode. This is extremely difficult for beginners to do without warming up. For most people, the rhythmic philosophy is the winning strategy. Block out time on your calendar. Treat it as a sacred meeting with yourself, and turn off every single notification. But scheduling the work isn't enough. You also have to train your brain. This leads to one of the most interesting rules in the book. Embrace boredom. Newport argues that focus is a muscle. If you pull out your phone every time you're bored, waiting in line at the grocery store, waiting for the microwave, waiting for a friend, you're training your brain to crave distraction. You're atrophying your focus muscle. To build a capacity for deep work, you must be comfortable with being bored. Stop filling every silence with noise. Let your brain rest. If you can't be bored, you can't be deep. Another controversial but necessary rule: quit social media. Newport doesn't say this just to be contrarian. He argues that social media is engineered to be addictive and fragment your attention. He suggests a craftsman approach to tools. Ask yourself, does this tool substantially help me achieve my core professional goals? For most people, Twitter and TikTok are entertainment, not tools, yet they rob hours of your deep focus potential. If a tool doesn't meaningfully contribute to what matters most to you professionally and personally, eliminate it. Finally, the book tells us to drain the shallows. We cannot eliminate shallow work entirely. We still have to answer emails and attend some meetings, but we must contain it. Newport suggests scheduling every minute of your day. This doesn't mean you become a robot. It means you're intentional. Group all your shallow work into batches. Instead of checking email every 10 minutes, check it 3 times a day in 30-minute bursts. During those bursts, you're hyper-efficient. The rest of the day, the inbox stays closed. Set strict boundaries. Fix schedule productivity. Decide when your workday ends. Say 5:30 p.m. and work backward. If you know you have limited time, you become ruthless about protecting your deep work hours. Ultimately, deep work is about choosing quality over quantity. A deep life is not just economically lucrative. It's also a good life. There's a sense of fulfillment and craftsmanship that comes from diving deep into a difficult problem and solving it, a satisfaction that you will never get from hitting inbox zero. If you want to produce work that matters, work that lasts, and work that makes you undeniable in your field, you have to disconnect, slow down, and go deep. The ability to concentrate is a skill that must be trained. Start small. Protect 1 hour tomorrow. Turn off notifications. Close the door. Do one thing with your full attention. Your best work is waiting on the other side of distraction.